More than 70% of married women admit to having a guy on the back burner just in case things don't work out in their current relationship. I know this is crazy. And for anybody listening right now, you're probably thinking, well, that's more of a guy thing to do, but more and more women are doing it. Now, these were happily married women who were surveyed. This survey was published maybe 2 weeks ago, and they surveyed over 1,000 women. And as I said, 70% of them admitted to having a guy on the back burner. And in most cases, this guy, listen up, guys, this guy was either one, an ex-boyfriend, or two, a friend who never made it into the dating category when she was available to date. And the number one mode of communication, how they kept in touch, take a guess. You guessed it. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, any form of social media. So guys, if you think, or you suspect your wife or girlfriend or whatever is maintaining contact with an ex or an ex-friend or something like that, a member of the opposite sex on social media, if you care at all about your relationship, take care of it. Now, I'm not saying to give her an ultimatum or to do anything stupid, but you set a boundary. You say, look, you know what? This is not okay with me. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't do it, and I don't want you to do it. I don't believe it's going to help us cultivate a healthy, normal relationship. Again, some people are okay with it. She has her friends. You have your friends. I think it's a one-way ticket to disaster, but to each his own. Anyway, but if you're one of the guys like me who's not okay with this, that's how you do that, because women will keep that guy on the back burner just in case things don't work out in their current relationship. And again, this is all done through social media. And what happens now is that maybe you were the good guy when you guys were dating, right? You're all new, exciting, and everything else that's crazy about the new relationship. And over the years, now you settle in. You get, you move in together, you get married. Now all of a sudden, you're the boring, mundane guy, because you know what? You got, work, whether you own your own company or you got a job, you got family, all this other things to take care of, where maybe this other guy, the ex-boyfriend, is still single. Maybe the other friend is still single, and he represents something just a little bit more exciting. Or maybe there was just something about that relationship that was, unforgettable. You know what I mean? Now, I believe, getting back to the mode of communication, I believe that social media is the blight that's been cast upon society. I'm telling you, it's horrible. It's terrible, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff. The only kind of social media that's good are my channels. And keep that in mind, okay? But anyway, seriously, social media not only creates the playground for which someone can start a new relationship, but it also creates the vehicle by which people can maintain open communication with members of the opposite sex, whether it be an ex or an old friend or anything else like that, for someone to easily get one foot in the door. And trust me when I tell you, guys and girls alike, it only takes 1 foot. That's it. One argument that you have with your partner, and that other guy or girl now all of a sudden becomes the hero, becomes a shoulder to cry on. And before you know it, they're opening up and, talking about issues that they should not be talking about. For instance, your relationship. And that's how the emotional affairs begin. And especially with women, the emotional affair begins, and then it is soon followed by the physical. And fellas, you'll know when she checks out, because she will be distant. She's not going to behave the same way in the house that she used to. She's not going to behave the same way toward you that she used to. So pay attention to these things. And I'm telling you, if you think your woman is, communicating with an ex or an old friend on social media and you care at all about your relationship, it's definitely something you might want to take care of. Now, if you want to find out the truth, if you want to find out what's going on, there are many ways to do this. You could use instantid.info to get the exact GPS location of a phone, or you can use something like an OTA app like what's available in ProSpy. So this way you can find out what's really going on. You can get copies of those text messages and call logs, call recordings. You could see what's really going on in those social media accounts. Now, of course, these things, can be used for infidelity and things like that, and they often are, but they could also be used to monitor your child or your, son, daughter, elderly, whatever the case may be. But just remember, if you do decide to use something like a monitoring app on a telephone, make sure you do it with the proper knowledge and consent. That's important too. And always remember that it is illegal in most countries to use or install monitoring or surveillance software on a phone that you do not own or have authorization to install. If you have ownership interest in the phone, or if you own the phone, that might be a different story. Make sure you get legal advice. And also, if that person is under 18 years of age and you are their parent or legal guardian, that might also be okay. But again, seek legal advice. Now, if you want to use something like instantid.info to get the exact GPS location of a phone, that all you really need to do is send a text message to that phone to report the GPS location of that phone. So there are many ways to find out what's going on. If you want to, you just have to make sure that you do it the right way. So everything I mentioned today, guys and girls, keep this in mind, because this is very real. If you care about your relationship, you might, just stay on top of things and always pay attention.